It's a Christmas miracle. Yo, what's up? Goodness, dude. It's been forever, Samara. What's up? Yeah, it's been a minute, Samara. How are you? Rick, what's up, dude? Hey, man. I saw you were kind of holding down the fort. You know what I mean? You were getting the streams in, dog, while I was on vacation. Hey, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, guys? Oh, the Christmas miracle, I was able to get my butt out of bed this morning is what it is. Woo! Oh man, I'm still a bit off from the travels. It's good to be back, man. I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday break so far. Still a little bit of festivities coming our way, yeah, with the new year and everything. So, on that note, no weekend streams. Good Christmas? Good, Samara. Good. Yeah. So no stream on Saturday and Sunday. Sorry. We need to go see some other family for a bit of a belated Christmas, and we're gonna do that over New Year's, and so streaming today and tomorrow, and then we will be back on Monday. I know. Let me just get this for you, chat. I know. Sorry. This is about the only time of the year that I actually take dedicated time off, though, and it is what it is, man. So I'm sorry. I do apologize in advance. But we're going to get a good stream in today and tomorrow, and then we will look forward to Monday.
Alright, that one was on me.
There you go. Wick, dude, did you like that pic I posted in Discord, man? You like that? Wick approved, dude. Wick approved, bro. I saw that, and I was with the wife, and I was like, you got to get a picture. We got to get a picture. Wick approved.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, mine. So, Wick definitely approves. Look, you say what you want to say, brother, but I know better. Dude. All right. Oh, this is all kinds of messed up here. Good night. Oh no, that'll probably work. You missed that? No, it's good. You're good. So, dude, it felt like forever. It's felt like forever being off stream, and it's good to be back. I had a nice trip. Got to go see some family I hadn't seen in a while, and that was nice. But, dude, I'm a homebody. I like being home, and it's nice to be back, man. It is nice to be back. And I missed you guys, man. I miss streaming. I love streaming. I love playing games, and I love hanging out with you guys. So it feels good to be back. It really does. On that note, you guys ready to do what we do? Yeah? Let's do this. Let's get into the video gaming news segment. Check it out. This is what we're listening to this morning. Got the bullets per minute soundtrack. Okay, if you're interested, it is a rhythm-based, first-person shooter, roguelike experience. It is very fun. The artwork, the graphical design of the game and everything is really neat. And I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's a cool game. Check it out. That's what we're listening to this morning is the OST, the soundtrack from Bullets Per Minute. Very cool game. Check it out. Good stuff. Well, cut it. Let's get into this news, man. See what we got. We should probably we'll do the past week for today. Tomorrow we'll get back to the past 24 hours thing like we usually do. We've been down for about 4.5, 5 days now. So let's just see what we can grab over the past week that might be pertinent for us as far as gaming news goes. Cool. We all good? Here. Now we are. Now we are. Solid. Solid. All right, let's see. Elden Ring was the most completed and most quit game of 2022. I believe that. I believe that. Take a look at that real quick. We might have already hit on this, but let's take a look at what Prime Gaming subscribers are getting. On that note, let's go ahead and look at our Epic Games. If you guys have not been keeping up, we have a Discord bot here for our the channel's Discord server. We have a bot that basically throws out any kind of substantial free game giveaway, and it notifies. We have a gaming deals channel in our server. It will always throw out any kind of significant free game giveaway, things like that. And it's been keeping up with this. So the better titles that have been given away since I've been gone, I've been trying to everybody in there and be like, hey, don't forget to get your free games, stuff like that. But Mortal Shell is free right now on Epic. Okay, this is supposed to be an entertaining title. It's a Soulsborne-esque kind of game, third-person RPG, dark, ominous kind of vibes to it. I think people had a pretty good time playing it. I haven't played it yet, but I think it's rated in the high 70s on Steam. So you'll probably, if you're into those kind of games, you'll probably enjoy it to an extent. And it's free, so you can't really argue with that. But it's only free for the next 3.5 hours, guys. So if you're interested, get on Epic and go grab this game. It will be gone in 3.5 hours. Then we will get our next game. And I think their free daily free game giveaway for the holidays is going to be over fairly soon. So get your free titles, okay? Get in there. Take a look at what Prime's giving away for anybody that has a Prime subscription. Rare Enix. Good night, man. They are all in on the NFT blockchain stuff, dude. The Web3 things. They are all in. This was 2 days ago. So, yeah, if you missed out, there's probably a list of all the games you could have gotten during the Epic Holiday giveaway. But a couple of days ago was what? Metro, was it Last Light? Which one was it? I can't remember. Oh, Metroidvania. They were talking about the. There's a few notable games. Fist, yeah, Fist. So Fist was available. There was a Metro game that was available as well. They've given away some decent titles. They usually do, but again, right now, Mortal Shell. Go grab it. We'll find out what the next game will be here in a few hours. Okay. A look at good, bad, and ugly of 2022 gaming. Is this worth? Is this worth us diving into? Yeah, let's take a look and see what it says. Let's see what they got here. Two of Marvel and DC's best games are 90% off. See what we got there for anybody looking for some potential Marvel DC games to play. Excuse me. Naughty Dog boss and Neil Druckmann sheds more light on what? New PS5 games. All right, let's take a peek at that, see what's going on. First free PS Plus game for 2023 revealed. We're almost in 2023. Holy crap. Oh yeah, Death Stranding was also given away on Epic Games. Hopefully everybody went and grabbed that. That was is interested in playing that. They gave away some good. They've been giving away some good titles. Classic PS3 games just became way more accessible. All right. Steam Sale makes some of its best games 99 cents. How long does the Steam Sale stay up? Through the 5th? Is that correct? Yeah, through January 5th. So we got roughly a week left. Yeah, just about. Just about. Don't forget, too, if you're interested, if you grab any free titles, you should have gotten a coupon. Let me see something real quick. Should have gotten a coupon. Yeah, check this out. If you redeemed any free games during the Epic Game stuff, you should have got an Epic coupon that is good through January 5th on Epic for games priced at $14.99 or higher. I think it gives you, what, like $5 off or something. Oh, it's a 25% off coupon is what it is. 25% off coupon. So you just have to spend over $15. You get 25% off your purchase, right? So if you, I think you just had to grab one of their free games or something, or log into your account maybe even during the holiday period here, and you got this coupon. Or you had to go claim the coupon or something, but it was really easy. And you can get 25% off your entire purchase on Epic as well. So if you're got something on there maybe during their winter sale, then you can even get a discount on sales happening. So don't forget about that. All right. Take a look at this though. Ooh, Nintendo's been patching a severe vulnerability. See what's going on there. Switch report says Pro model was canceled in favor of a new console. We've been talking a lot about, what Switch doing with how old, or what's Nintendo doing with how old the Switch is. Are they going to just ride the Switch out for more years? Are they actually going to release something new? Or are they just not talking about it? So here's a little bit of news on that front. Let's see what's going on. We're going to have a lot of news this morning. Lots of news. We've been gone for a while, though. So it's okay. And rando mode. Go. Let's go. Get your random modes in. Neon White and Marvel's Midnight Suns have the years what? Worst video game writing? Oh no. No. Okay, we'll take a look at that. Feels bad. I've heard Neon White is a blast to play though from our buddy Pinky. Hey, what? Oh, that's cool. Open an Xbox console box, but got like a Nintendo. That's pretty dope. Sick. I'm not gonna read into that, but that's pretty cool. Dude, isn't the Last of Us supposed to kick off right here at the beginning of the new year? I think the show on HBO. I think so. If it didn't already, I can't remember when that was supposed to drop. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hype around Hades too. Yeah, man, the first one was so much fun. I hope they're able to follow it up well. I don't know that. It's going to be hard to match what Hades, the first Hades, was. I don't know that I expect that, but there's going to be a lot of expectations out there just because of how good the first one was. So we'll see. That was a pretty hype announcement from the Game Awards, no doubt. One second, one second. It is a little bit. That's what I kept thinking. I was like, "What is that? Is this like somebody cooking something somewhere?" It's coffee. Sorry, I needed a paper towel, man, because I'm a mess. Okay, okay, okay. Um, let's see. I would love to play this. Ghost of Tsushima. I need to play that game. Disney Dreamlight Valley video showcases what? Some kind of upcoming something. Dude, I am a hot mess this morning. Upcoming feature. All right, we'll see what's in there for anybody that might be playing that. Um, wait, what? The Callisto Protocol Dead Space killed the game? What? This is actually hilarious. The Callisto Protocol has been denounced by many as a poor man's version of Dead Space, but that's only because it presented itself as its successor. Yeah, it absolutely did. Yep. hmm I'm gonna read this. Yeah, yeah. We'll read into that. Wow, the first episode of The Last of Us is going to be an hour and a half long. When does that premiere? Yeah, next month. I thought it was January. What day does it start? January 15th. HBO Max. So anybody is interested in seeing the new Last of Us or the Last of Us adaptation that is coming out on HBO January 15th. And the first episode is supposed to be an hour and a half long. So there you go. Yo, let's stick with this. We got a lot of articles this morning. Sorry, I know. There's plenty more we probably are missing. But we've been gone for like 5 days, basically. And I don't know. We could dig and dig and dig this morning and probably keep coming up with enough news articles to take up the entire stream. But we'll stick with this. We'll catch more of what we potentially missed as we do, more segments moving forward. The days to come. But we'll stick with this for today. The Callisto Protocol would have been a hit if not for Dead Space. Callisto Protocol has been denounced by many as a poor man's version of Dead Space, but that's only because it presented itself as its successor. First announced in late 2020, Striking Distance Studios, the Callisto Protocol was one of the most hotly anticipated video games of 2022. However, the science fiction horror game has been met with less than stellar reception in the wake of its long anticipated release. Although nearly every aspect of the Callisto project has received at least some criticism, the most common complaint about the game is that it isn't as good as Dead Space, with which it shares a creator.
Hey, shut your pie hole, buddy!
Yup. What's up, Pinky? I had a feeling that was going to be you. What's up, buddy? Nice, dude. Nice. Hey, both triangles, dude. That's close. You know what I mean? That's pretty close, dude. What's up, man? How are you? And some striking similarities. This begs the question, would the Callisto project have been met with better reception if Dead Space wasn't around to compare it to? While nearly every piece of media ever produced would undoubtedly be held in higher regard if there weren't similar but better examples to compare them to, the Callisto project would likely have been viewed as a flawed but enjoyable experience if its best elements hadn't already been featured in Dead Space. Yeah. From the moment the game was first announced, Callisto Protocol was billed as a spiritual successor to Dead Space. It wasn't hard to see why. Directed by Glenn Schofield and developed by a team of many former Visceral Games and Sledgehammer Games staff members, Callisto Protocol shares more than a few similarities with Dead Space in terms of both plot and gameplay. Not only do both titles put players in the shoes of a blue-collar worker stranded in a run-down deep space facility ravaged by an alien pathogen, but each also features a unique combat system that encourages players to converse resources by strategically dismembering enemies. While there are enough differences between Callisto Protocol's plot and gameplay to make it stand out somewhat from Dead Space, the fact the game's developer went out of its way to position the Callisto Protocol as a spiritual successor to Dead Space, combined with all these similarities, has led many players to compare every aspect of the two. Unfortunately, the Callisto Protocol has almost universally been the loser of these comparisons, with both fans of the original Dead Space and new players who were inspired to play it during the months leading up to the Callisto Protocol's release agreeing that it did everything the Callisto Protocol does better. Yeah, it's kind of what I'd gathered. Dead Space aside, Callisto Protocol is an engaging experience. It was a mess on release, though, dude. Oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. That sucks. I'm sorry, buddy. Bummer, man. I hope everything ends up being okay. Had Dead Space never been released, players' opinion of the Callisto Protocol would likely be much higher. While its similarities to Dead Space can be jarring, the Callisto Protocol is still a fairly engaging horror experience in its own right because the core concept of the heat of both games is so terrifying. See, I heard different. I heard that it was more along the lines of like what you would experience in like Dead Space 3 as more of an action kind of experience rather than a real anxiety-inducing, scary horror experience. And if that's the case, I haven't played it. I don't know. I mean, this game, Callisto Protocol, was busted on release. It was terrible from everything I read, which that in and of itself is just not acceptable, right? And is going to make the game feel bad anyways. But It just seems weird to me that like they wanted this to be the spiritual successor to Dead Space, and everything I've read about it is that it fell flat. And like with today's technology, what they could have done with it, really expanding on what Dead Space did so well in the first place, they didn't really do that very well, from what I understand. Um, From a gameplay perspective, the Callisto Protocol does quite a bit to separate itself from Dead Space, featuring a more melee-focused combat system that rewards memorizing enemy movement patterns. This often forces players to engage enemies up close, giving the game's combat a sense of uncomfortable intimacy that Dead Space could never pull off. If observed in a vacuum, the Callisto Project's story is also very compelling. Like Dead Space, the origins of the Callisto Project's viral outbreak are rooted in a conspiracy that revolves around a sinister religious organization, but the game does set itself apart by tackling some rather poignant themes. While Dead Space never highlights the potential downsides of its spacefaring civilization, the Callisto Protocol's Black Iron Prison is a disturbing example of prison privatization that is used to explore the potential dangers of giving corporations free rein over the handling of inmates. While it's unlikely the Callisto Protocol would have ever been made without Dead Space, the game is far from the uninspired clone that many critics have labeled it as. From the numerous Souls-like games that follow Dark Souls to the many social simulators that popped up in the wake of the original Animal Crossing, gaming industry has always operated on a first-come, first-served basis. Had it come out before Dead Space, Callisto Protocol might have been regarded as a groundbreaking entry in the survival horror genre. Yeah, but that's not even fair to say though, because it didn't. It's literally the same guy. Like they're trying to kind of take up for the game, really is what they're doing, and that's not fair to even say. That's not fair because it didn't come out first. It didn't even come close to coming out first. It's literally the same director that tried to that's no longer involved with EA, who owns the rights to the game, right? I think that's who owns the rights to the game of Dead Space. It tried to basically exactly make spiritual successor, right? And they failed. It People were hyped because Dead Space is iconic, and especially Dead Space 1 and 2 are very, very iconic games for the horror experience they bring, and apparently this didn't match up. So it didn't come first. They tried to potentially bring back what the original Dead Space games brought to the genre of horror, and they missed. That's all there is to it. You can't go on the premise of, well, had this come out before? It didn't. They literally, it's the same director. They're trying to, if anything, they regressed. It's not like they regressed. They should have been moving forward and progressing and making a better experience, and they didn't. They failed. So why are you trying to take up for them? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. That doesn't make sense. They missed the mark. They've got way better technology at their fingertips to use, even, and for game mechanics and sound and presenting story elements and things like that. And they failed, dude. I don't know. Why take up for them? I don't get it. I don't know that I haven't played it, so I can't attest to the fact of, if it's actually just a completely terrible game. But a lot of what I read is that it missed the mark. It missed the mark of what people were wanting from a successor to Dead Space. And I'm guessing EA is probably going to get a much better reception for the Dead Space remake because of it. Especially if they come out with something fairly solid, which it looks like they're actually doing, but we'll see how it releases. I don't know. New Disney Dreamlight Valley video showcases upcoming feature. Disney Dreamlight Valley found a passionate following in 2022, and the game will see more content throughout the new year. Today, developer Gameloft released a short new video showcasing a feature that will be included in the game's third update. The feature will allow players to select different skins for their house, including colors such as pink, blue, purple, and green. It's not the biggest option in the world, but it should add an extra level of customization, helping players better showcase their individual styles. Unfortunately, no release date has been revealed for the game's third update. The video can be found in the tweet embedded below. So far, a lot of fans seem excited for the new feature. On Twitter, many have even decided which color their house will be once the update rolls out. Of course, many are hoping to see the feature fleshed out further. There have already been requests for an option to mix and match the colors of the house, door, and roof. Others would actually like to see different house types added. It remains to be seen whether Gameloft will make those options available, but the new feature is certainly a nice start. Okay. Let's see this. For any Disney Dreamlight Valley players, man, if only painting was that easy in real life, you know what I mean? Revolutionary, yeah, bro. Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. I'm guessing there's going to be more to that. Let's see, looks like they just had an update on December 6th. You only access the game right now by purchasing a Founders Pack, but when the game full releases at some time in 2023, it's supposed to be free to play. Okay. If you need any more out of that, I'll let you see it. Anybody playing some Disney stuff, there you go. The year's worst video game writing. Pinky, I'll let you chime in on this one, dude. 2 titles that are extremely fun to play and painful to hear. Hey, dude. Yeah, we're changing over. You know, we're about to have a new year, and it's a completely new era in gaming. You know, being able to just change colors in games like that, it's you know, we just hopped into a time machine. It's incredible. When I think of bad video game dialogue, I'm reminded of this tweet. The thinly veiled exposition, the personality quirks as a stand-in for actual characterization, the stilted and strangely paced delivery. Basically, this is the way no person speaks or has ever spoken. And yet, in most video games, this is how every character comes across, like an alien figuring out how to sound like a human in real time. It's so pervasive that you learn to live with it, or you press X to skip ahead. What gets me are the games where the bad writing is completely unnecessary. This year, I'm thinking of a couple of games specifically, 2 where I loved actually playing them until the moments where they forced me to sit and listen to atrocious dialogue for no reason. I'm going to pick on Neon White, which is still a very good game that I would recommend. It's a first-person speedrunner with clever level design, combination of readable elements and mechanics that make parkouring across the map intuitive and satisfying. I'm neither a twitchy perfectionist nor a completionist. The game compelled me to shave milliseconds off my time. A sneaky leaderboard shows scores from your friends, and I have suddenly become very competitive with Jay. But everything comes to a halt as soon as you finish each series of stages. Suddenly, there's a bewildering amount of plot and a bizarre cast of characters screeching at you about nothing. Here is some actual dialogue. Neon White, I feel the strongest connection to you. Neon Red, ellipses. Neon White, internal monologue. Dang it, White. Why would you say something so lame to a girl? This is just a snippet. The whole scene is 2.5 minutes long, complete with lazy innuendo about a character's measurements. For a game about speed and rigor, it's strange that Neon White bogs itself down with a whole lot of between-level filler. The characters are cloying and horny. The plot is a total distraction. It's really bad, is it, dude? That's awesome. That's flippin' hilarious, dude. Even weirder, the game knows what it's doing. Neon White's dialogue deliberately plays up the tropes of anime. Everything from exaggerated gestures and loud gasps and guffaws to infantilized voices. And to what end, the game truly has nothing meaningful to say. Neon White is obnoxious for what reason exactly? You could call it camp, or you could recognize it for what it is. Cringe. Fresh milk. Oh, you want to hear what Santa brought me? Yeah, dude. Strawberry milk, yeah. Yeah, I do, dude. What'd you get? Did Santa actually, like, spend a little bit of extra time at your place and build your computer that's been sitting there in parts forever? A broken water pipe? No way, dude. At the house or at one of your shops, dude? Did he stuff coal in there? Sorry, too soon. My bad. But the worst offender I encountered this year was Marvel's Midnight. Dude, that sucks. That's terrible. At the shop? No way, bro. How bad? How bad are we talking, man? Like water damage? Are we in water damage? Oh, no. Oh, no, bro. Oh, jeez. Dude, you just... Oh, no, dude. Bro, right after all the remodel and everything, too? I didn't rage? Dude, I don't believe you. Right after all the remodel stuff, too. Which one was it? Was it the shop that you spent all the time on, or what? I mean, it doesn't really matter. It sucks either way, but... Brother, that sucks. I'm so sorry, man. The worst offender I encountered this year was Marvel's Midnight Suns. Like Neon White, this is a game I enjoyed a lot when it wasn't talking to me. Developed by Firaxis, Midnight Suns is a blast. Total reinvention of the XCOM formula. The company rebooted a decade ago, but here the precision and patience of duck and cover tactics have been traded for the creativity and risk-taking of a deck builder. The result is a surprisingly novel hybrid turn-based strategy card game. Everything in Midnight Suns that's not a battle is a slog. Between missions, you spend your time back at home chatting up other Marvel superheroes and doing small chores at a base called the Abbey. These light interactions boost your relationships with the characters, making them stronger in upcoming fights. The mechanics are nakedly unsentimental, considering you are theoretically improving friendship. It's a gameplay loop that will remind you of Fire Emblem Three Houses. No way, dude. Maybe a little ragey, bro. Yeah, I would have been off my hinges, man. Obviously, right? Yeah, because it couldn't have been the one that you didn't spend weeks and weeks remodeling yourself, right? God. I mean, are we talking like completely having to shut down and renovate again? Is it that much water damage? Obviously, you got to get stuff dried out and everything, but I mean, oh, dude, that sucks so bad. At the same time, all the dialogue suffers from what my colleague Ash described to me as Joss Windenmouth. When characters aren't detailing an overly broad plot, they're piping in with painfully unfunny quips. Feels somewhat consistent with the current universe of Marvel films, which are slacker comedies broken up by big action set pieces. The humor of MCU movies can be defined by their effortlessness. Midnight Suns is constantly trying too hard. I think I could stand it if there just wasn't so much of it. At one point, Blade reluctantly admits to you that he has a crush on Captain Marvel. Instead of telling her that, he decides to start a book club so they can spend more time together. He invites you too, and somehow Captain America also overhears and invites himself along. I'm making this sound funnier than it actually is. It might have been amusing if the game were a self-aware reinvention of these characters. No, instead, playing Midnight Suns means hearing all three characters, Blade, Captain Marvel, and Captain America, tell you all of their feelings about the book club selection, which, of course, is Sun Tzu's The Art of War. This drags on seemingly forever until the day finally ends, and Midnight Suns allows you to experience what you came for, playing the actual video game. There was a lot of standout writing in games this year. Citizen Sleeper succeeded as a quiet, somber, Tomocore space opera. Norco's turned its sharp anti-corporate politics and depressive vibes into a compelling point-and-click adventure. The whole point in those games was the writing. It's the places where dialogue is treated like filler, as in Neon White and Midnight Suns, where it becomes annoying. All of the writing exists outside of the core mechanics, completely divorced from the games themselves, but at least the games show you the mercy of making it skippable. Eventually, in Midnight Suns, Wolverine also joins the book club but refuses to do the reading. Nice. Blade is annoyed that he hasn't put in the effort. Still, this was probably the most relatable character moment for me. Wolverine, listening to people babble and simply putting up with it. Yeah. Yeah, look, I agree with this very, very much. This notion here about there are, in my experience, some of the best video games I've ever played include amazing pieces of art that come together to make an amazing experience, and one of those is very, very good writing that doesn't feel like this. It doesn't feel like filler crap. You know what I mean? Quite often you're going to get better writing out of games that are story rich kind of experiences, but not always. And it does feel really, really brutal trudging through a game where they make you sit through stupid dialogue that doesn't matter, and it doesn't really add anything to the experience. It has nothing to do with the main storyline or anything like that, like what they're talking about with Midnight Suns and I don't know. It doesn't feel all that great. And I kind of knocked on I'll bring something up. I knocked on Scorn because there literally was no story to that game at all. It was just so completely open the entire time for the player's interpretation. There was no text to read. There was no voice dialogue. There was no story in that game at all, which was really, really weird because you just have no idea what's going on the entire time from beginning to end. And that's one of the things that threw me off is like, what was the point of this even? Like, what is happening here, right? So for me, that was a bit of a throw off. I think it can go both ways. Like, no writing in a game can be bad because if you're in an experience where you're trying to figure out what's going on, but you're literally getting no kind of clues or context as to what the situation is, that can hurt your experience as much as having to sit there and trudge through bad writing, filler writing as well. So I think there's something for developers to take into consideration here in, not throwing things in that don't need to be there, but also making sure that there's at least some kind of decent writing in the game or dialogue or something to present to the player to kind of show you what's going on to an extent. You know what I mean? At least that's my view on it. First free PlayStation Plus games for 2023 revealed. PlayStation's free PS Plus games for January have officially been revealed to show subscribers what their first free games for 2023 will be. As is the case with most of these PS Plus reveals, the games themselves leaked previously, so those who keep up with those sorts of leaks already had an idea of what would be free next month. Yeah, I think we've hit on a lot of it. The first free PS Plus games for January will be Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Fallout 76, Axiom Verge 2. The free PS Plus games will be available starting on January 3rd, so roughly almost a week, and just under a week. And like other PS Plus offerings in past months, they cater to a diverse range of interests, including single-player adventures and vast multiplayer experiences. Yeah. Main titles again right there. Yep. So that's what we got. We'd hit on that previously, but I wanted to make sure. So there you go. If you need more, linked it in chat. Classic PS3 games just became way more accessible. It just became far easier to revisit the library of games that were previously released on Sony's PS3 console. Over the past couple of years, it has become quite difficult to play games that were available on PS3. Since the PS3 isn't backwards compatible on PS4 or PS5, Sony has had to resort to some unusual workarounds, notably with PS Plus and formerly PlayStation Now. in order to make games like Metal Gear Solid 4, Infamous, and numerous others easy to play in 2022. While this solution has worked fine for what it is, PlayStation fans have now found a much simpler solution to play these PS3 titles from yesteryear. Based on a new update from RPCS3, which is a popular emulator that is used for PS3, the software is now able to boot up every game that has ever released on the legacy PlayStation hardware. For the better part of the past decade, RPCS3 has started to become a highly used emulator on PC that fans use to play titles that were previously released on PS3. While ongoing work with RPCS3 has by no means reached its end, this new milestone that has been reached is hugely important when it comes to making PS3 games more easily accessible moving forward. Worth stressing that just because all PS3 games now boot on the RPCS3 emulator does not mean that they're all in a playable state from start to finish. The team behind RPCS3 notes that about 68% of the full PS3 library can be played via this emulator without problems. The other 32%, on the other hand, still contain a number of various glitches and bugs that prevent them from being experienced in their normal state. Still, to know that every title on PS3 can now simply load up on RPCS3 is a huge deal and shows that this emulator will only continue to get better in the future. Again, this just shows how passionate and how much, we have to rely on the gaming community to kind of help preserve our ability to dive into gaming history. PlayStation has always been fairly terrible at backwards compatibility. They're not the only ones. And emulators, while, obviously I'm not a fan of emulators being utilized to circumvent maintaining a healthy industry. I'm not a proponent of emulators being used to, emulate new consoles, new games, things like that to make it to where people don't have to purchase. It's a good thing. Emulators are a great thing for allowing people to still access and play the historic titles that have been a huge part of gaming over the years that these companies are not doing a good job at giving us access to. So that's good news, man. That's good news. Steam Sale makes some of its best games 99 cents. The Steam Winter Sale is live, which means hundreds of discounts on some of the best and most popular games on the digital PC storefront. As part of the sale, Valve, the owners of Steam and the company responsible for some of the best games of all time, have slashed the prices of its games, which in turn means some of the aforementioned best games of all time are dirt cheap. How cheap? Less than $1 cheap. Portal and Portal 2 are 90% off at $1 or below. Yeah. Just about every game Valve has ever made, minus Half-Life Alyx, is at that price as well. They do this about every sale now. Every major season sale that Steam does, you can get a bundle also that will have all of Steam's or Valve's titles, and it's like $7 or $8, I think, something like that, US, and it's got usually a bundle. I'll pull it up, dude. Hold on, check it, yo. We're not. Crappers. What do they call that, dude? I can't remember. Here, let's look up Portal. Yeah, the Valve Complete Pack. You can see right here. Show Steam replay? I haven't even looked at mine yet, dude. I haven't even looked at mine yet. I might. Hold on. I might. Valve Complete Pack. So this is like $6, just over $6 US, and you get a ton of stuff in here. So if anybody's interested, about every sale they do this now, but it's like Portal games, Left 4 Dead games, Team Fortress, all the Half-Life stuff, you know what I mean, Counter-Strike, all that stuff for about $6. So if you're interested, let's go through the news first. Your top game is Lost Ark. Does it show anything I wouldn't want to show? Let's hold on. Let me look. I haven't even looked at mine yet. I didn't even get on my PC last night. We got home and I was just trying to chill and relax. Oh, dude, where do you even pull it up at now? Oh, wait. Oh, there's the replay. Here we go. Do you guys want to see it? I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you at the end of the news segment. How about that? I'll show you at the end of the news segment. All right. Let's finish this up, and then I'll show you my Steam replay. Yeah. Uh. So yeah, that's basically it. Just know that if you're into some of the Valve games, if you've been wanting to play some of Valve's games, and they're pretty good. Their software is pretty solid, man. Even though some of it's getting kind of old at this point. I mean, the Portal games, Counter Strike, Team Fortress. Like I said, I mean, all that stuff is really really good, and there's still a lot of good communities around that. Wait, what? What? How'd you say I'm Pinky? So, you can go grab that bundle for like $6 if you want. What did I miss, dude? Did I say something wrong? I'm so out of it this morning. Nintendo has been patching a severe vulnerability found in some online Switch, 3DS, and Wii U games. Wait, you're Pinky? I thought I was Pinky. What happened? What did I miss, dude? What happened? A severe vulnerability affecting several Nintendo consoles was found recently, with the potential to allow unauthorized access to Switch, 3DS, and Wii U via a host of online games. It's reported that for some time, Nintendo has been working to patch games to eliminate the exploit known as ENL buffer get pwned. ENL buffer pwn. With several updates already live to address the situation, thanks Nintendo Everything. The vulnerability, which has been categorized as critical on the common vulnerability scoring system and detailed in full on GitHub by Pablo MK7, Rambo6, Glaz, and FishGuy6564, reportedly exposes a victim's device to complete remote control by simply playing an online game with a potential attacker. This means the attackers may gain access to sensitive information or take audio and video recordings by remotely executing code. The vulnerability was reported to Nintendo in 2021-2022 by Pablo MF6, who says they received a $1,000 bounty via Nintendo's HackerOne program. It's now understood that the company has taken action to fix the issue in some of the affected games, including Mario Kart 7, which was recently updated after more than a decade. Seems most high-profile Switch titles have already been fixed, but it looks like Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon on Wii U have yet to be addressed. Excuse me. May still be affected by the vulnerability as well. A list of affected titles per the GitHub page are Mario Kart 7 fixed in version 1.2, Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe fixed in version 2.1.0, Animal Crossing New Horizons fixed in version 2.0.6, ARMS fixed in version 5.4.1, Splatoon 2 fixed in version 5.5.1, Splatoon 3 fixed in late 2022, exact version unknown, Super Mario Maker 2 fixed in version 3.0.2, and Nintendo Switch Sports fixed in late 2022, exact version unknown. Speculated that other games may also be affected by the vulnerability, although that's unconfirmed at present. For a look at the exploit in action, take a peek at the video below from Pablo MK7, which demonstrates an attacker left console remotely taking over an unmodified 3DS right side by copying a return-oriented program payload and executing it remotely. The victim's console is then forced to run a custom firmware installer, and it's thought that the same technique would allow an attacker to steal sensitive information from a remote console. Thankfully, this has now been fixed. It can no longer be carried out if you're running the latest version of the software, so be sure to update if you haven't. Update your stuff, peeps! Nintendo's relatively limited approach to online play seems to have its advantages when it comes to security issues like this, as pointed out by @LuigiBlood discussing the exploit. If you want to watch it, I'll link it so you can watch it. Twitch report says Pro model was canceled in favor of a new console. This is about the most I have seen for anything from Nintendo regarding any kind of upgraded model of the Switch or even any kind of new console in development. For years, rumors of a Nintendo Switch Pro console have circulated around the video game industry. A lot of it was just kind of water cooler talk, though. It didn't have any kind of substantial backing from Nintendo, really. While some of those sources were more dubious than others, many legitimate outlets reported on its existence. In a new podcast, Digital Foundry's John Linneman states that multiple developers confirmed that a mid-generation Switch update was once planned. But Nintendo decided to shift focus to make an actual new console instead. Nintendo has yet to officially announce the company's next video game system, and Linneman was quick to note that he does not believe that it will be happening in 2023. So, I think at one point internally, this is a quote, so I think at one point internally, from what I can understand from talking to different developers, is that there was some sort of mid-generation Switch update planned at one point, and that seems to be no longer happening, said Linneman. And thus, it's pretty clear that whatever they do next is going to be the actual next-gen hardware. I don't think it's going to be 2023. Mid-generation updates have been a staple of Nintendo's handheld platforms over the years, with options like the DSi and new Nintendo 3DS offering improvements over their predecessor. Given the difficulties the entire industry has had with chip shortages over the last 2 years, it's impossible that Nintendo decided to pivot to the Switch OLED rather than releasing a more significant update. Rumors have suggested that just since the model's announcement, but has never been confirmed, Switch has been one of Nintendo's most successful video game systems. After nearly 6 years on the market, the platform continues to perform quite well for Nintendo. It's only a matter of time before the company pulls back the curtain on its next system. What form that will take remains to be seen, but it seems like a safe bet that it will continue to offer a mix of portable and at-home gaming. That combination has worked very well for Nintendo, and many fans are hoping it will be backwards compatible with the system's current library. For now, fans will just have to wait and see. Yeah. Yeah, it's still nothing substantial here, but really, I mean, I am very much of the mindset that Nintendo is due. They are due for something new. The Switch is great. It's been great. It's old. It's time for something new. Two of Marvel, it could be. The Switch is amazing. I love that console. Switch is very, very good. But it needs something. It needs upgraded hardware. Over the years, there have been a lot of video games featuring Marvel and DC characters, and some are much better than others. With the holiday season quickly drawing to a close, two of the best Marvel and DC games are now on sale for 90% off. Lego Marvel Super Heroes 2 is currently $2.99, while Lego DC Super Villains is a few dollars more at $5.99. Unfortunately, these prices only apply to the Nintendo Switch versions. Those are good games for the Switch, though. But Lego Marvel Super Heroes 2 can be snagged for $4.99 on Steam and PS4. Lego DC Super Villains is still full price on PlayStation and Xbox. The Steam version is even cheaper than it is on Switch at just $3.99. They've got links to grab all these and some descriptions as well. So if you want to dive into the Lego games, are fun and they're funny. They're just entertaining. So right there in chat if you need them. Okay. Naughty Dog boss Neil Druckmann sheds more light on new PS5 games. Longtime Naughty Dog director and co-president Neil Druckmann has shed more light on the studio's upcoming games for PS5. In recent weeks, Druckmann has been busy with promoting the HBO adaptation of The Last of Us, as those at Naughty Dog itself have continued to work on a number of projects that will come to PS5 down the road. While PlayStation fans already know about one of these Naughty Dog titles, Druckmann now has offered up more details about how the company is approaching its forthcoming games. In a new message shared on Twitter, Druckmann addressed recent comments he made about how his next game at Naughty Dog is being structured more like a TV show. Over the past couple of days, the statement has made many fans wonder about what this could possibly mean in regard to the studio's next title, especially in the wake of Druckmann working on the HBO's The Last of Us. Now, Druckmann has clarified this statement just a bit more and has further explained what he meant by it. Quote, "It's about making our games in an even more collaborative manner." Druckmann said to expand on his previous comments, "Stoked to show you our projects as soon as we can." As mentioned, we already have some broad ideas of what Druckmann and the rest of Naughty Dog are working on at this point in time. Currently, Naughty Dog has already verified that it's working on a multiplayer title set within the world of The Last of Us. Although we haven't seen this game in action just yet, Druckmann has previously said the title will be highlighted more in 2023. Beyond this, though, recent rumors have also suggested Naughty Dog is also now in the process of developing The Last of Us Part 3. Last year, Druckmann stated that a story outline for a third Last of Us game had been put together. It hadn't yet been decided if Naughty Dog would embark on actually making this project. While the studio has yet to confirm that this rumor is accurate, it definitely seems like PlayStation's most prominent developer could be looking to further entrench itself within the world of The Last of Us in the coming years. So, Last of Us Multiplayer and Last of Us Part 3, which we will see more about when they release info on. But that's what is confirmed right now for Naughty Dog to be in development. Let's keep that for... Here, let's go this way. Prime Gaming subscribers get 10 more free games to end 2022. Amazon's Prime Gaming subscribers just got 10 more free games to help round out the year thanks to a second wave of December 2022 giveaways. These free games were announced previously and include one of the biggest games from 2016 as well as several from the SNK collection. The catch is that these games will only be free for a while. However, with the 10 free games available from now until January 3rd to download. While there are 10 different titles being given away for free through Prime Gaming, there are technically many more games than just 10 that are included in this deal. That's because one of the games, the SNK 40th Anniversary Collection, comes with 24 different games itself. Those games date as far back as 1979's Ozma Wars, many other retro games that came after it. So if you want to look at it that way, you're getting tons of games to end December if you're a Prime Gaming subscriber. 10 free titles being given away to Prime Gaming subscribers to end 2022 are listed below. Dishonored 2, Metal Slug, Metal Slug X, Metal Slug 3, Real Bout, Fatal Fury, King of Fighters 2003, The Last Blade 2, Twinkle Star Sprites, and SNK 40th Anniversary Collection. Of these games, Dishonored 2 is the outlier and also the standout. It's a follow-up to Arcane Studios' Dishonored and combines sleek assassinations with debilitating powers. So, I'm going to link this. Here's what you need to know. If you already... Oh no, my uncle also bought Opus Magnum. I guess it's war then. Nice, dude. Nice. So here's what you need to know. If you have Amazon Prime, you probably have free access to Prime Gaming, which is just quite often every month they release free games for you to claim a month at a time, but you have to grab them each month. Oh, is that what's next on Epic? Yay, Metal. Thanks, buddy. Cool. Yeah, we just talked about Epic. Look, Metal, thanks, dude. Apparently, after Mortal Shell goes away in 2.5 hours, it's going to be Dishonored 2. Cool. Yo, thanks, buddy. Sick. So go grab Mortal Shell if you haven't already, and then get prepared to grab... Oh, can you really? Oh, you can. Interesting, dude. I didn't even... Yeah, that's some great attention to detail there, buddy. Nice, dude. Interesting. Sick, bro. Sick. Thanks, man. Yeah, so grab Mortal Shell. Get ready for Dishonored 2. Cool. They've given away some good titles. They've given away some good titles. Don't forget to grab them. Let's get back in here. Prime. If you already have Amazon Prime, you've got access to Prime Gaming. Free games each month and a lot of in-game content. Okay, there's a lot of in-game content like Fall Guys, League of Legends. I mean, you name it. There's all Lost Ark. There's all kinds of games out there that you can get in. They collaborate to give away free in-game content if you have Amazon Prime. Even if you don't, and maybe you're interested in grabbing some free games for that month or whatever, there are ways to get free Prime trials, right? So just do some research, look around. But here you go. There's some nice titles coming for free, but look, or they are free right now. You have to grab these before the 3rd, though. Now until January 3rd. So if you're interested in grabbing these titles here, you need to get in there in your Prime Gaming and grab those right now, okay? Mel, it's good to see you, buddy. Hope you had good holidays so far. Thanks for that info, dude. I appreciate it. Elden Ring was the most completed and most quit game of 2022. Quitters. Soft gamers, dude. Ridiculous. Bunch of soft gamers. From Software's epic open world action RPG was also one of the highest rated games on How Long to Beat. 2022 was truly the year of Elden Ring, with From Software's latest game exploding into the mainstream unlike anything it had previously created. As such, a lot of people played and finished Elden Ring. In fact, according to one set of data, Elden Ring was the most completed game of 2022, but funnily enough, the same source also pegs it, Kappa, as the game players were most likely to abandon before reaching the end. If you've read Kotaku or any other gaming website in 2022, you are likely already familiar with Elden Ring, the latest game from Dark Souls creators From Software. And like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, it still uses the same targeting system from Dark Souls 1. Sorry. Elden Ring is as tough as nails action RPG with a heavy focus on mystery, world building, and boss fights. However, this time around, From Software added a true open world to its popular Souls-like formula. The end result? One of 2022's most acclaimed, best-selling games. The open world in particular helped sway many to try Elden Ring for the first time, letting players avoid harder areas until later and ostensibly making it easier to finish than past From Software adventures. And it seems that design choice paid off. According to data on HowLongToBeat.com, Elden Ring is 2022's most completed game, with nearly 6,000 users of the site reporting that they have played and finished the massive open-world RPG. That's an impressive number when you look at the runner-up games on the list. Stray, that adorable futuristic cat game, I am going to play that. I'm going to play Stray. A lot better than what you were expecting. That's great, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I had a good trip. We just got back last night. We went and saw some family and we're down, stream was down. And I had a good trip. I had good holidays. I'm glad to be back though, dude. I'm so glad to be back. Stray, the adorable futuristic cat game, was completed by nearly 4,000 users. Meanwhile, in third, with 2,500 completions, was Game Freak and Nintendo's Switch hit Pokemon Legends Arceus. To see such a big and difficult game top the list is both a sign that Elden Ring is very good and also a hint at the kind of audience that is primarily using HowLongToBeat.com. Yeah. Perhaps more interesting is that Elden Ring is also the most retired game. When users retire from a game on HowLongToBeat.com, it means that they have given up on it, either permanently or temporarily. Now, even though only 261 players officially retired from Elden Ring on the site, that's still more than double any other game in 2022. Even if the data set is a bit small and weird, it's still an interesting data point. This all makes sense to me. Elden Ring was the most talked about game of 2022, and with that many people playing, it makes sense that a good chunk of them might give up on it. Other data seems to suggest around half the people played Elden Ring never reached the end. So I buy that Elden Ring could be the most completed game of 2022, while also being the game more people gave up on than anything else. Some other interesting 2022 data from the site turns out Elden Ring is also on the most backlogs, has the most reviews, and is the longest game of 2022. Is it? However, Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 1 is the most positively reviewed game, and Diablo Immortal is the worst reviewed. That's great. I love that. Diablo Immortal, the worst reviewed? Fantastic. That's good stuff. Here's another thing to consider with Elden Ring. Any From Software game, really. But with Elden Ring, because that's what we're talking about right here, it's not just going to be the difficulty that has some people quit this game. It's going to be the fact that it does not hold your hand. there are a lot of people that they get interested in playing these open world games like Elden Ring, and From Software is notorious for developing titles that don't hold your hand. But there are going to be an amount of people that have started out trying to play Elden Ring and lost their way and couldn't figure out what to do next. And it's not just going to be the difficulty inherently of fights and mechanics in the game, bosses, but also a combination of there are going to be some people that quit playing because they couldn't figure out what to do next. So that's something to take into consideration as well. But look at this. Most completed games. And look, this is just people that have like used howlongtobeat.com and have reported and things like that. Elden Ring, Stray, Pokemon Legends Arceus, God of War Ragnarok. Now look, God of War Ragnarok would probably be way up there by Elden Ring, if not even above it, had it had more time. Elden Ring came out in February, right? At the end of February. So it had the majority of the year, 10 months roughly, 10 months to get to the point of 5.9K report, polls of people reporting that they've beat the game. God of War Ragnarok came out at the beginning of December. Didn't it? No. Was it the beginning of December or November? Dude, I'm tripping. It was December, right? I can't remember. It was December. Dude, I am so off. It was December 7th, or it was November 9th, dude. Jeez. I was way off. How did I mix that up? What was it that came out right around the same time in December? Was it Callisto? That might be what I'm mixing up. I think it might have been Callisto that came out then, and I was mixing up those dates. My bad. My bad. But yeah, I mean, still though, it was a significantly less amount of time. So for the year to report. But most retired. Are you kidding? Tunic is number 2. Really? Huh. Scorn. I have to imagine 66 people just put down Scorn because it was not a fun game. They were just like, I'm done with this. But that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Elden Ring was cool, man. It was cool. It was a cool title. All right, a look at good, bad, ugly of 2022 gaming. Looking back, the year of 2022 had a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, and quite a bit of ugly. A lot of interesting things happened in the video game industry over the last 12 months. One of the greatest games ever made, Elden Ring, released to the masses in February, outshining Sony's first major release of the year, Horizon the Forbidden West, which was not a bad game in its own right. Other quality titles, such as a surprisingly resilient Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Splatoon 3, showed traditional non-battle royale multiplayer is still popular. Things weren't all sunshine and roses. Sony's emphasis on its narrative-driven third-person single-player titles, and I say this as someone who will die on the hill of supporting single-player games until the heat death of the universe, started to wear thin with both the Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok, perhaps showing the limits of the particular type of game. Microsoft and Xbox cannot get out of their own way, failing to release a single first-party title until Obsidian Entertainment's surprise release of Penitent, a small-scale game, in November, and then failed to show a single title at the Game Awards in December. But what's the game that just released on day one on Xbox did very well? The Rick and Morty creators. I can't think of the name of it right now, but it did very well. Meanwhile, the titles continue to get uglier as the aging Nintendo Switch, which somehow manages to constantly move additional units 5 years after release. We're talking basically 6 years after release now. Outselling the Xbox Series consoles and PS5 during many months this year. The latter two continue to be plagued by ugly supply chain constraints, But the ugliest aspect of the year is the downright bitter rivalry between Sony and Microsoft that has boiled over since the latter announced its intent to purchase Activision Blizzard for $69 billion earlier this year, sparking Sony to go on a mudslinging offensive. Yeah. Let's take a look at the good first, shall we? Despite questioning over the quality of the release calendar last week, there were still some quality titles. Spoke last week about how great Elden Ring was, naming it the game of the year. Ironically overshadowed Sony's first big release of the year, Horizon Forbidden West. Sequel to the original game that was overshadowed by the launch of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but Elden Ring didn't dominate the entire year. Traditional arena multiplayer enjoyed a resurgence this year with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Splatoon 3. Both releases, at least in the case of the base Modern Warfare 2 title, forsake the popular Battle Royale structure for more classical team-based and FFA, deathmatch, and objective-based multiplayer. Yep. It's good to see traditional shooters make a resurgence in the era of Fortnite and Apex Legends dominating the charts. Yeah, the Switch also enjoyed great multiplayer success with Splatoon 3, which is the most refined game in the franchise yet. Some might knock it for being a little too close to Splatoon 2, and those complaints are valid, but the weapon variety, improved graphics, and performance and number of quality of life improvements make Splatoon 3 the best multiplayer shooter on the Switch, one of the best multiplayer games on consoles at the moment. Sony entered this year looking to cement the PS5 as the premier new-gen console, especially as Microsoft's release schedule was thin. All three of its major releases, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, and God of War Ragnarok, were delayed from 2021, though all were cross-gen, despite Sony's insistence at the start of the generation that there would be no such thing. GT7 had its own set of issues with microtransactions and inflated car prices. Yes, it did. The real disappointment was in just how bland Horizon and God of War turned out to be. What? Neither were all that different from their predecessors, and both were filled with the same problems: bland, lifeless worlds. What? Disappointing stories and characters that talk entirely too much. Sony struck gold with the formula during the previous generation, but it needs to do something to help shake up its game structures for future time. I am guessing this individual is just going straight off of their own thoughts about these titles and not any kind of actual consensus reviewing of these titles, because a lot of people liked Ragnarok and a lot of people liked Horizon as well. I don't know. That's weird. Kind of odd. Uh, At least Sony released titles this year while Microsoft sat on its hands. The release calendar for Microsoft Game Studio and Bethesda was completely empty this year, aside from Pentiment, a surprise announcement, small-scale title developed by a small group at Obsidian. The game is amazing, one of the best of the year, but it doesn't justify a console purchase. Aside from a year-late port of Deathloop, which finally arrived on Xbox and PC Game Pass in September, Microsoft had nothing to show for this year. Next year looks more promising with a huge slate of titles. This year was extremely bad for Microsoft. The delay of Starfield and Forza Motorsport from the fall to next spring really did a number on the release calendar. We've talked enough about this. I'm not going to read all. This is just about the potential acquisition of Microsoft taking on Activision Blizzard and Sony throwing a fit. And while not quite as ugly, Nintendo's slate of recent releases needs some assistance. November saw the release of two major titles for Nintendo: Bayonetta 3 and Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Both were highly anticipated. Both were expected to be quality titles. Both were ugly as sin. Wait, what? I thought people liked Bayonetta 3 all right, too. Am I tripping? Oh, hey, yeah, metal for sure, buddy. That's what we do, my dude. I mean, not that a Metacritic score is going to be, a full. Every I say this all the time. Look, like, I was not a huge there were so many people that were just blown away by Elden Ring. It was really good. There was a lot of really good content. The PC port was trash. There was some archaic stuff they need to improve from software, and things they've been using for too long, and there's some stuff wrong with it. So like that, just to give an example of, not everybody's going to agree on everything as far as how an experience for a game goes. But 86 Metacritic score for Bayonetta 3 and a user score of 7.1 is very, very respectable. That's a 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? This article we're looking at, dude. This article we're looking at says it was ugly as sin. Quote, Bayonetta 3, ugly as sin. What? Maybe they're talking about the graphics of it or something. I don't know. I mean, I if that's what they're getting at, I'll agree with the fact that the hardware in the Switch is old and everything. But time for Nintendo to face the idea that the Switch, as impressive of a piece of hardware as it was at its 2017 launch, is too old. The hardware in the Switch is even older than the Switch itself is by like a year to a year and a half. If you guys didn't know that. So even though the Switch is like just hitting over like 6 years old at this point, the hardware within the Switch is actually like 7 to 7.5 years old at this point. If Nintendo's own first-party titles cannot manage to run properly on the Switch, how are third-party titles going to manage? Bayonetta 3 faced severe performance issues in addition to it. Yeah, I think it had real bad frame issues. Dipping below like 30 sometimes and stuff. In addition to its fairly unimpressive graphics, I don't see anything that looks great on the Switch, though. I mean, I've been saying that for a while. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet face similar problems with low frame rates across the game and an unimpressive graphics. Yep. With just a buggy mess, too. Developer Game Freak has since released a patch that has helped performance a bit, but the game is still struggling to run on the hardware. Nintendo still has The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the follow-up to Breath of the Wild next year. That game needs more powerful hardware to run it, otherwise it will be a compromised version of the game until it's ported to a more powerful hardware in the future. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I actually would have much rather seen Tears of the Kingdom come out on a new platform for Nintendo and then get like downgraded to the Switch as the previous gen console, but it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen. I've been talking about that for a while on the Switch. I don't know that Bayonetta 3 is like ugly as sin necessarily, but Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was notably not looking very good, and a lot of performance issues on that one. I know Bayonetta 3 had some frame rate issues, but that was about it, I thought, from what I had read. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with everything that was written here, but whatever. Let's do this. I'm gonna go over my my year in review of Steam. All right, we'll take a look at this real quick. Oh goodness gracious, dude! We'll take a look at this real quick, and then we'll end up we'll finish up the news section. All right. So if you guys have anything to add, you want to talk about or go, because dude, I've been gone for like we haven't done a news segment for like about 5 days now. I think roughly that. So which I do apologize for. I'm sorry, man. I needed a bit of a break there for the holidays. This weekend's going to be down too. Again, we're going to see some family that we didn't get to see for Christmas. We're having a belated Christmas kind of thing going on. So this weekend will be down as well. But then no more foreseeable time off. We'll be back to 7 days a week, 8-hour days for the foreseeable future, okay? But if you have anything to add that I haven't touched on today that you might be aware of or whatever, good for the video gaming news stuff, let me know and we'll address it after we look at my Steam year in review stuff. Cool. All right, you guys ready? You want to see this? I'll talk about that once we finish up the news segment. Metal, yeah. All right, here's my Steam replay for the year. Okay. Uh, yo, Pinky. Hey, dude. Yeah. Lost art, bro. Lost art. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. Now, again, I mean, take into consideration this is just Steam, right? So we've played games on a lot of different platforms and stuff like that, but we did play a lot of Lost Ark. We did. Um, we got Valheim in there. Um, I still jump in and play some Rocket League occasionally at night. You know what I mean? I don't stream it, but I'll jump in there. I'll jump in there every once in a while, play some Rocket League before I hit the bed. If I'm feeling a bit frisky, play a few matches. You know what I mean? So that's been a game I've played for a long time, and I don't know. Killing with Hugs, yo, what's up? Killing with Hugs, yo, welcome in, my friend. How are you? How you doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. So that's the jam right there, dude. Uh, check this out. BPM was third. Word. Word. Uh, so that's kind of how it went for us there. That's crazy. I like seeing this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool. There's my Rocket League stuff. That's something I like. I don't even ever stream Rocket League. That's just something that's like I'll play a match or two like before I hit the go to bed. Some nights, man, I just like pick up the controller and chill out and play a match or two or whatever. Valheim, dude. Valheim was a lot of fun. May through June, dude. Valheim was so sick. Yo, how was the new update, by the way? How was the new update? Have you guys enjoyed it? You lived that Viking life. Yeah. Why don't I stream Rocket League? I just don't care to. It's not my jam. Rocket League was a game that I started playing a long time ago as just something because before I started streaming, it was I needed games that I could pick up and put down real easily. I didn't have a whole lot of time to invest in deep games that had rich storylines and a lot of questing in them and stuff like that. And so Rocket League was a game I found that I had a lot of fun with. It was just something really easy for me to pick up and put down. Yeah, and so yeah, exactly, killing. Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of what happened. Is I started playing it way back, and every once in a while I'll just hop back in there and just play a few matches or whatever, just because I always enjoyed it, and every once in a while I'll have that itch at the end of the night. You know what I mean? So I'll jump in there and just play a few matches or whatever. That's it. Yeah, I don't really care to stream that though. It's something for me to just like play a game without having to worry about being live and stuff. If that makes sense. Uh, of course, all the controller stuff is actually Rocket League. I this again, this is like my chill title, so I just like lay back. I don't stream, and I just like use the controller. But that's why there's I actually hardly any controller stuff on here at all. Is because of this probably. Rest of the Steam community. I unlocked 652 achievements. The Steam average is 21. I'm not even an achievement hunter, by the way. I just play a lot of games. So, played 37 games. Steam average is 5. Longest streak was 61 days. Steam average is 9. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. New releases. Percentage of games you played that were new releases, 26%. Versus 17. Recent favorites. The percentage of games you played that were released in the last 1 to 7 years, 61%. That's right on par. 64. Classic games. Percentage of games you played that were released 8 or more years ago. 13%. Average of 19. You are what you play. Look at this graph, dude. Look at this graph. You are what you play. This spider graph shows the kinds of games you spent the most time in 2022. Bro, I play everything. Action RPG, soccer, Souls-like, mythology, dark fantasy, open world survival craft. I'm all over the place, man. And we made friends. Lost Ark, yeah. Rocket League, Valheim, The Witcher, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, I promote myself in the channel as a variety streamer, a variety video game player, and I really am. I mean, I play just about everything. You know, I have fun playing all kinds of different games, and so there's really not much I don't play. So yeah, I don't know. I just like games, man. I like games. This was I was yeah. We spent, dude. How much time did we spend in The Witcher? A lot, a lot. It was a pretty long playthrough for us. Um, so we did The Witcher 3, all the DLC, Elden Ring. Yup, did the Elden Rings. Mhm. Check it out. The world is full of maidenless cowards. You are not one of them. To you, Elden Ring was not an exercise in frustration. Yes, it was, but a challenge to rise up and meet. It was an exercise in frustration too, though. Especially with the frame drop issues and the stuttering on PC. I'll tell you what, it was a cool game, but the PC port was not fantastic. We did it though. We did it. Playtime by month. Uh, dude, what? That's not right. That's not right. We've been. Oh, it is right. Yeah, it is right because we've been playing Breath of the Wild all month. That is right. That's right. We've been playing Switch all month, so that's why my Steam stuff's down in December and some of November too. That's cool, dude. It shows all the games that you were playing, right? So there's where like we were finishing up God of War in January. This is cool, man. I love that they do this kind of stuff. This is really neat. There's all the Lost Ark, dude. So much Lost Ark. Elden Ring. Look at all this. This is when we started playing. You guys remember when we were playing all the card games, like Slay the Spire, Inscription. We did Vampire Survivors back then. Oh, dude, and Nightfall. This is where Nightfall was too, Pinky. Then the Valheim gameplay, Planescape Torment. Flushed that one. That game pissed me off. Went. My son was playing Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Xenoverse on my account. How can you play so many games? What do you mean? What do you mean? Where's October? Here's all of our October games. Dead Space, Fear 3, Dead Space 2, Outlast 2, 5 more. Dude, we played so many horror games. Oh, here's all the Shatterline stuff too. Oh yeah, we played Cult of the Lamb with controller, Ori with controller. Yeah, but see that's where. Oh yeah, we played Witcher as well. I forgot we played Witcher with controller to chill out. What do you mean? How can you play so many games? What do you mean? Like how? What exactly do you mean? How? These are all the games we played this year. Good times, man. Good times, dude. Very cool. Very cool. That's neat, dude. That's neat. I played like 10 games this year. Well, I mean, this is what I do full time right now. You know what I mean? Like I stream full time and I do it 7 days a week. You know, so we've had a little bit of time off over the past what 4 to 5 days. I was out for some holiday time off, And this weekend, I'm going to be down for a little bit more holiday stuff. But this is about the only time during the year that I take time off. And it's usually not even this much. This is a bit of an exception. I went and saw some family I haven't seen in a while. Spent some holiday time with them, and this weekend is going to go see some other family I haven't seen yet, and having a bit of a belated Christmas and spend some New Year's there and stuff. But I stream full time. I go 7 days a week. I go 7 days a week, and I play. We stream roughly 8 to 9 hours a day average, which about an hour and a half of that's always this, which is the video gaming news segment. But the rest of the time is just playing video games, so we do some long playthroughs. We do some pretty long playthroughs, 300 plus hour playthroughs and stuff. So, those take some time, but I stream every single day. I play games every single day, and we get through a good amount of games, man. We get through a good amount of games. So that's how, I guess. Hopefully that answers your question. We get through a good amount of titles in here, and we got more coming this year. I've started working on a bit of a schedule for us for the a tentative schedule, which we normally have. So it's not close to being finished yet, but once I get back this week, what we might do is Monday, we might have a chill day of just hanging out together for like a New Year's stream, talk about schedule for games for the upcoming year. We might not do very much gaming content. We'll do the news maybe Monday, and then I'll try to get out some of my old gaming stuff, like vintage gaming stuff, and show you guys all the stuff I have, and we'll talk about schedule for the coming year and what we want to play and what you guys want to see, and all the titles we're going to get through this coming year, man. So that might be what we do on Monday. Yeah. But them's the breaks, man. That's the news for this morning. So it was cool. It's cool seeing that. Seeing that review of everything we did on Steam. And that's not all the games we played either. Again, I mean, we're currently day 24 of Breath of the Wild playing on Switch, right? So we're about to work our way into that, and we played on some games on Epic and things like that too. So yeah, Killing with Hugs. Yeah, so I have a set schedule. I start streaming at 6:00 a.m. CST, Central Standard Time. And then I go normally I go all the way until about 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon CST, which would be 14 to 1500 hours. Yeah, and that's always my time. So start up to end. There's usually very little deviation from that schedule. Yeah, so I'm always here and always doing this, and we're always hanging out and having a good time, and that's what I was getting ready to get to. So yeah, Killing, yeah, that's what we do. So to everybody that was here for the news segment today, thank you very much. You guys are amazing. Everybody that's part of this community on the Constant, you guys rock, and I appreciate you very much. We're going to be moving on to our video gaming segment now. Breath of the Wild Day 24. Man, we're really plugging away. We've got more things to search out, more things to do. We're just really working on progression at this point, trying to get more elite type enemies defeated for upgrading equipment, trying to find some more shrines, stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff, areas that we haven't necessarily explored thoroughly yet. There's things for us to do, and we're going to keep doing that before we move on toward the end game of Breath of the Wild. So I'm loving the game. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to keep pushing. So that's where we're headed. But for anybody that might be checking out this content later on as a VOD on YouTube or here on our Twitch channel, if you're enjoying the content, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with myself and the rest of the amazing people that are part of this community. Whenever we go live at 6:00 a.m. CST every single day, we start all of our streams off with video gaming news before we jump into whatever gaming content we have slated for the rest of the day, okay? Other than that, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I will catch everybody tomorrow for December 30th edition of Video Gaming News, and it will be day 25 of Breath of the Wild. Cool?